It's Friday, December 23rd, 2022. So this morning I caught on the radio um, a what I would call old timer, old philosophy, which when I was born and I was like 5, it was, there was one way of being. There was your whatever. Fairy tale. I saw all the Disney movies. I knew it was going to be special. There was other special things that went on, and then it all ended abruptly. No idea why. Um, and so there was that, and there was this perfect world expectation, especially based on the fact of I was going to have a special child, of that there was going to be a equally important special relationship. So now, if the government, my ancestry, has men that work for this theory of dad, I expected one of dad's employees to find me and to marry me and father children with me. It's not what happened. That's the first problem, first break in reality between what humans are actually doing in the field and what the star children need above the human wants. So they didn't fulfill the necessity of what I needed. And now it's so far into the future. And now I'm looking at, what did they do? Where did the time go? And what did they waste it on? So I see how on CBS this morning they are, and they still haven't gotten my story right. In fact, my story has gotten like so much worse. It's almost like, and then they have on this NFL Nick Miss game from Nickelodeon where it's all these special effects and all these like really cool, like NASA like scientists with computer graphics and all this fun video game stuff. And I'm looking around, locked in the series of rooms with very little movement, no money whatsoever to my name. My children no longer living with me because they've been removed and put elsewhere. And I'm living like the Taliban is running the show. They put up this morning what Taliban looks like. And I'm like, those are birthday kids. We're not even in the same category. I'm not an activist. I don't protest. I don't have a campaign to get behind. I got real serious stuff that happened at like high level, and dad's office never sent the right representative. But I'm still here and I still require dad's representatives. So now, how do I handle that in the field? So I'm looking at how they waste every day, every minute, and they're so proud of what they've accomplished, shaking themselves and all of their importance on the screen while I'm broken and stuck in this series of rooms and can't even help myself or my special child. And there's like no one to ask for help. Like none.
The NFL Nickmas game between the Denver Broncos and Los Angeles Rams will feature the fun Nickelodeon animation that we've all come to know, alongside the fast-paced action that football fans love. This year, Nate and CBS Mornings got a unique behind-the-scenes look at some of the groundbreaking technology that will be used in Sunday's Christmas Day game.
Look at the slime monster! The animated slime you see here. And here we go!
Here we go, baby!
Splashed across your screen.
From this distance, it would go. These almost look better. Yeah.
And the updated holiday theme you will see this Christmas Sunday,
We're only recording face here.
will feature a new use of technology alongside a number of familiar Nickelodeon faces.
Oh boy, oh boy.
But how does what you
Hurting
see
my
on
life
TV
and my
actually
son's life was
on
not
TV?
worth them getting to this point. It just wasn't.
Is something that's never been done before, in both in the amount of AR and the sophistication that we're doing it at.
Dan Pack is the managing director of Silver Spoon Animation, the team collaborating with CBS Sports and Nickelodeon on the special augmented reality graphics you will see this Christmas on Nick.
Going to a lunch. Other side. Crunch. Crunch.
Today, they're showing off some of the motion capture technology used in making this Yeti, which you will see on TV this Sunday come to life.
So this is SoFi exactly as it appears, just without all the people in it.
Oh.
And so what we do during the game actually is we take the scan and we actually drop them. But that means that anything that any of the objects or AR or the Yeti, he can jump onto things, he can jump over the field, and it's going to look exactly like he's there.
Don't get us wrong, the Yeti is amazing, but he's only just one part of this game. We've got some really great characters from Nickelodeon coming in. We got our friend Patrick from Bikini Bottom. He's going to come live to you.
Wait, repeat that?
He's going to be live at the game, talking to you, discussing the game, discussing the plays. Yeah, it's going to be amazing.
Hanging with Patrick Starr and myself in the booth on Christmas Day will be CBS Sports' Noah Eagle and Nick's Gabrielle Nevaeh Green.
What's really cool about this, my wife, my kids, not exactly like main football fans, but they watch this, and it just brings a whole new level of excitement and connection to it.
I'm in this, by the way.
Audience, but really all audiences. It's really going to be fun.
And let's just keep it real. There's a lot of traditional NFL fans that switch over. I'm sorry, the main crew, but a lot of guys that come check us out. You know what I mean? They come by, take a peek, and they're like, wait a minute, I might as well watch the rest of the game.
Hey, that's how you grow new fans.
That's how you grow new fans.
Don't you think Nate just has such a good time doing it, and he's very good doing it too? That's why he's not with us, because he's out there in LA getting
Is
ready.
there anything that Nate does not have fun doing, by the way?
You're absolutely right about that. I actually might switch over and just see a couple of plays.
Oh,
Just-
definitely.
I might do that.
Definitely.
So that's nice that someone has fun in their day. I have none of that at all. And then you go over to scary parts of the world, which is where I call this. And I'm like, why is that type of lifestyle? Why am I trapped in New York in some alternate scenario with this growing in New York and with its philosophy growing in New York? Their philosophy is oppressing me. Why is that? I'm not an activist, and I'm dad's office in generational hierarchy of somebody specials from elsewhere. So I'm not real sure where their voices are affecting me and how that could even be possible.
Control. Watching those freedoms getting torn away. Civil engineer and activist Sodava Bayani. What has it been?
Now, where I live, there was no such thing as a civil engineer. Never heard of it, never offered it, never met a man who took part in it. And I'm stuck between the ancient world and this modern world. I absolutely despise modern world, except for the fact that I can move, although not well. But there's this fine line of walking on that I try to do, where I try to be grateful, try to look for the good things, but it never seems to end, and it never seems to get better. I still need a hummingbird, regardless, for my flower. That was never going to change, and that's what every single day of my existence has been withheld. I don't understand who has that level of authority when there is definitely a hierarchy over man and there's a hierarchy within the angels.
Been like for women under Taliban control.
They are implementing so many other restrictions as well. They have even banned us from going to the parks, to the gyms, and everything. They are not doing anything to improve the situation, but making everything worse.
And sources tell CBS News that police chiefs in Kabul have been instructed to arrest protesters. It takes a great deal of courage for you to even speak with me.
There has to be someone to speak up and told the world that what's happening to us. If we all keep our mouths shut and stay in our homes, then who will come and do this? Who will tell the world what's happening to us?
For CBS Mornings, Charlie D'Agata, London.
They are speaking up, and we will certainly tell their story. Nobel Peace Prize laureate Malala Yousafzai has made it her life's mission to fight for women's educational rights. 10 years ago, she was on her way home from school in Pakistan.
So for me, it's like, I'm not even going into Semite, like, conversation. It sounds like semantics to me. I've got other stuff. Like, I'm trapped in a series of rooms with no way out, and there's been a partial collapse of something. I'm not quite sure what. I don't know how to find. And then I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, oh, well, we're going down this. Let's talk about Truman for a minute, because they said that he's the one who, like, Wilson said we need our own, Dad's office needs his own separate army. Great. So that takes care of proprietary equipment, proprietary intellect, intellectual rights, the manufacturing business of any kind of artillery and weapons. So now that's protected. So then why on earth would the next presidency, being Truman, allow and break the army into allowing other people to join? That puts rank and file and proprietary information and the safety of some of the children. I mean, I wasn't even allowed, they call it a volunteer army in like the 1990s. But I didn't even know that. I had to find that out afterwards, that they're calling it a volunteer army now. And I'm like, how do you join? How do you get closer to Dad? Like, how do you find your way to respectable men in the world when you're just born and there's a break in the galaxy? I've met respectable men interdimensionally, but I keep waking up in the third dimension completely separated from them. How did that happen? It's star 1978, star 8378, Nicole Cattaruzza. It just doesn't seem like the Democratic Party and President Truman had the American and the United States of American people's best interests at heart by allowing in non-family members and then having access to technology, to proprietary stuff that could then be stolen and whatever. It seems like a really dangerous path to go down. But yet here we are in such a mess. And I'm still not in a relationship with Hummingbird Flower. I'm with two insults. Well, I'm with one insult to intelligence.